Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're playing with new makeup today. So I've already primed my face with my Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 replenishing primer and setting spray. This is the watermelon one. Love this stuff. I do like myself a good spray primer. And I'm going to go ahead and use my little silk scrunchie and go ahead and get my hair out of my face. I wish I was one of those YouTubers that can use like those little clips for their hair and be done with it. No. My hair will be in my face all the time, especially that I have a lot of baby hairs. No. All right, I'm gonna be using a clean beauty blender, and I'm gonna be using, today we're gonna be testing out the Chanel CC Cream foundation that I recently hauled, and I'm color 30 beige. This has a broad spectrum 50, and apparently this has a ton of skincare benefits. Let's see if my camera's gonna focus. Yeah, it's got a ton of skincare benefits. It helps with anti-aging. There's vitamin C in here. Helps with like fine lines. Helps to kind of correct and brighten the complexion. That's what it says. We'll see. All right, the box doesn't say that I need to shake this. You do get 1 fluid ounce, and this was made in France. It's got titanium dioxide, 4% of that, and it's got zinc oxide, 15.2% of that. And the last sunscreen on here is the octinoxate, 6.8%. I've never tried this before, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty scared. Alright, let's get started. Longest intro ever. Oh, it actually comes completely sealed with like a little tabby you have to pull. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I am super afraid that this is gonna be really thick and gonna smell like really heavy sunscreen. So this is how much I'm gonna start with. Doesn't smell like sunscreen right off the bat. So I'm just using a beauty blender to dab this all over my face. I'm bringing my mirror a little bit closer because my viewfinder is really small. Oh, I just moved you guys, I'm sorry. And we're just blending that in. So it doesn't smell like heavy sunscreen. And what it smells like is what all of Chanel foundations smell like. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those of you who own and are a fan of Chanel foundations. It has this like slight flowery kind of scent, but once you apply it, it goes away immediately. It's not like you can smell it throughout the day. Kind of just smell it once it goes on the sponge, and then it's gone. So this is the amount of coverage you get with that first pea-size amount I applied. And honestly, I'm okay with it. I wouldn't apply more than this normally. So this is the good side. And then when you have some acne scars, it's not really gonna help you with that. And I'm okay with it. I don't, like I said, I like light coverage, so it doesn't really bother me that much. Sometimes you have breakouts, you know, these things, they happen. So I think that was enough for my entire face. As far as finish goes, I don't feel like this is heavy. It is moisturizing because I do feel like it hasn't set yet. It feels hydrating. It does have hyaluronic acid. So, okay, let's move on. Since it has SPF 50, I didn't apply my, you know, Chanel sunscreen. That's also SPF 50. Just felt like it's gonna be too much. Plus, I kind of wanted to see how this was going to wear on its own. Let's go ahead and set the face with a little bit of my Givenchy Prism Libre powder. Isn't that pretty? And when I'm done with this, I plan to keep the cap because I like this powder. So it's gonna be a definite repurchase for me, and I can just keep the limited, oh, sorry, the limited edition cap and use it with the new one. Okay, finally the puff is in here. You guys know from my previous video, I made the mistake of shaking it without having the puff in it. Not really what you want to do. But I am a sucker for doing this. Is that cute or what? It's stupid, I know. But I like doing it. And then I'll just, you know, I'll use the cap. I'm using my Too Faced Mr. Right brush. And I'm just gonna get some of this powder onto the cap. And I am wearing number 3, Violet Rose. Yeah. All right, let's tap it off. Let's get that really into the brush. Now that I've given it a little bit of time to dry, it has a moisturizing kind of finish to it. It's not satin, so I'm going to go in with powder. Just a little bit. We're just going to tap that all over the face. It's not tacky. It just has a creamy finish. Not super creamy though. It's a comfortable creamy. Like if I just wanted to wear that by itself and put on some mascara and leave the house, I'd be fine with it. So those of you with normal, dry normal skin will really like this. But as somebody with combo to oily skin, I'm gonna go in with a powder. Just not gonna leave it that way because it's gonna be a hot mess. But it feels nice on the skin. I do have to say, the CC cream is a very different texture than the other Chanel foundations. It has a very comfortable feel to it, where the best way I can describe it is it feels nourishing when you apply it and as you wear it. Like I feel like my skin is nourished, which is not so much it's not a feeling I think I've ever gotten from any foundation I've used, obviously because I have combination skin, so I tend to use like satin and matte finish foundations. I tend to shy away from any like CC cream, anything that's very hydrating, but this feels very comfortable. It's not super creamy and greasy. It's nice. All right, what do I want to do next? Let's go in with bronzer. Let's try that new Clarins bronzer I purchased. All right, so I recently hauled all of these products I'm using. Most of them I've recently hauled. And I will let you know which ones are just old ones. Like my Givenchy powder, had this for a while, that's not new. The foundation, yeah, recently hauled. So I'm just gonna mix. This is what it looks like in the pan. Let me do this correctly. And I'm just gonna mix those 3 colors. It does have a very light scent, but like super faint. This is a pretty big bronzer, and I'm really sad to be messing up the embossment here. So I'm just going to apply that to the hollows of my cheek and just blend it out. And then let's do the same thing to the other side. And then I want to get with whatever's left on the brush, I'm going to go ahead and do the edge of my forehead and temples. It's pretty pigmented, I like it. Oh, that was really loud. I don't know why I was screaming. Got really excited there, I'm sorry. It's nice. I think this may be the first Clarins bronzer I ever try. Can't remember. I mean, I've tried Clarins products before, but I can't remember if I've tried their bronzer. No, I've tried their eyeliners, lip products. Okay. Okay, so I've blended that out. Now let's move on to blush. Okay, this is a little, I'm gonna go in with my same Mr. Right brush that I use for my setting powder, and I'm just gonna diffuse that just a little bit. I like my bronzer to be very seamless. I'm gonna go in with the new Chanel blush in Brun Rouge. Recently hauled this as well. And I'm gonna go with my Real Techniques 227 brush. And this is a beautiful terracotta kind of shade. This is, what is this called? This is a light layer blush brush. So I'm just, actually it's a powder brush, but I use it for both powder or blush. It's a versatile brush. So I'm gonna do the duck face so I can actually see my cheeks. Otherwise they're invisible. Do the same thing to the other side. You guys, I don't know if it's that I'm pregnant and my senses are heightened, but this blush just smells so strong. I don't think I've ever had a problem with, well, that's not true. There's been some skincare products that I've had to not repurchase. Like I've had to, you know, I can't speak today. I've had some skincare products that have smelled really, really bad. Like the Sunday Riley Martian toner. It smelled so bad that even though it was a good product, I couldn't repurchase it. I only tried a sample. All right, so I'm good with blush. I feel like that's enough. It is a matte blush, in case you guys were wondering. There's no luminosity here. And now let's go in with the new Chanel highlighter I purchased. Comes with this little brush, and we're gonna use it today for, you know, today's video. It's pretty big actually. And then here is the highlight. What color is this? I can't even remember. 20 warm gold. So I'm just gonna lightly brush this over the product here. Pick some up. And then lightly dust it on the cheeks. So again, very subtle. I like the tone of this. It complements my skin tone nicely. It's, you know, not really in your face. I do like to put some highlight in this area. I always have. I don't know why. I'm sure you're not supposed to do that, right? Or are there any rules in makeup? Doesn't matter, does it? So it just gives a really pretty light sheen. Because it's so light, let me go ahead and swatch it on my finger for you. Just kind of want to show you the tone. So this is the tone of the highlight. And then I just want to show you how light this swatch is. So it's a very light sheen. It's definitely not a highlight that's gonna be in your face. If you want something that is just subtle and nice and you can use it for quick application, definitely you're gonna love this Chanel highlight. Now, don't get me wrong, Chanel highlighters can be very intense, especially some of their limited edition ones that come out during the holidays. Yeah, I own one of those. Had it for like, I love it, I've had it forever, but I really only take it out on the holidays, during the holidays, or when I want a very intense highlight. Next, let's go ahead and prime the lids with my Bare Minerals Gen Nude eyeshadow primer. This is in Bright and Flawless. And I kind of just tap this all over the lid. One of my favorite eyeshadow primers is the Bare Mineral one. Bare Minerals has so many shades, so they have like a ton of those in all sorts of a shade. Very, very wide range of primers. They're all colored. I don't think they have a translucent one, to be quite frank. Alright, so for today's video, I didn't haul any new eyeshadow palettes, so I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon palette, which still smells like chocolate. I've had this palette forever, and absolutely, I've incorporated it into my collection, into my rotation of makeup I'm wearing every day, and I love it. So I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques brush number 321, and this is a full coverage eye brush, so I'm gonna use this to lay down my base shade. I'm gonna go in with Sprinkles, which looks actually very pink in the pan, but when you apply it, it actually doesn't apply as pink. It kind of just gives you this beautiful wash of color. It's like a light rose gold kind of shade, not so pink. And I love that the little pans are in a shape of a heart. Can we just talk about that? This is not a new palette. This is like a Too Faced OG eyeshadow palette. If you own this palette, let me know in the comments down below. Mine has held up really well. It smells like chocolate and I really like it. Okay, so I've gotten an even amount of eyeshadow on my lid. Actually, I'm gonna apply just a little bit more because I can see my veins protruding right here. I have very green veins. There, I feel better. I'm gonna stop now. All right, next I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques 320 blending brush, just a regular blender brush, nothing special. This is called the blending crease brush. And I'm gonna go into Pecan Praline, which is this matte shade right here. And I'm gonna use that as my transition shade. Sprinkles, which was the first shade I just laid down, is a very light satin shimmer. So I'm gonna go into that shade. And I'm going to apply that all over the crease. Ah, so pretty. So I'm kind of going for a cool toned look today, which is definitely not something I gravitate towards. But you know, we're just gonna do it. And that's what I like about this palette, is it has its fair share of warm and cool tone shades. So you can pretty much do anything with this palette. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. I think this is one of Too Faced's best eyeshadow palettes. All right, so now that I've applied that transition shade, I'm gonna go into Black Currant, which is this deep purple shade right here. And I'm just gonna use that on the outer corner. I'm going to not even bring it into the crease, just the outer corner. And I'm gonna use the same brush. You guys know I love that. I love using the same brush. Multitasking at its finest. You know what I just realized? I'm like, why am I having so much trouble using the mirror in this pan? Because I never took off the plastic. Wow. Okay. Much better. I could see myself now. So just, I like to pat it first on the outer corner, and then I do these kind of like flicking motions, and then I'll just kind of do circular motions and just concentrate it on the outside. Now this Black Currant shade is actually a shimmer, satin shimmer shade, just like the first shade I applied, Sprinkles. All right, so now I'm gonna do the other eye. And again, I'm just concentrating that on the outer corner. And blending. Lots of blending. I only put a little bit. These shadows are heavily pigmented, so you don't need much. But I feel like you can get so many looks with this palette because it has such a wide variety of colors. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that like that. I'm gonna go in with a clean blending brush, and I'm gonna be using my Real Techniques. This one doesn't have a number because this is like really old. A deluxe crease brush, and it's just a round brush, and I'm kind of just blending everything together so there's no skipping. Kind of cleaning up the edges here. All right. And now let's go in with some eyeliner. I'm gonna be using my Chanel. This is like a little nub. I've got literally like basically nothing left, but I will use this until it's gone. Challenge accepted. If this grosses you out, please feel free to fast forward. I'm just putting a little bit on the waterline and very, very little. I don't like to put a lot of eyeliner on my waterline. As I just did a second application on the other eye. Well, I think it's because I'm getting to the end of it, but you can really build this eyeliner up. So this is a very light application. I don't like to put too much on my waterline because it makes my eyes dry. All right, next I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Kohl Iconic Liquid Eye Pencil. And this one is in Barbarella Brown. I'm gonna apply that to my top lashes. And I'm gonna go in with my Bare Minerals Strength and Length Brow Gel in Coffee. And my Bare Minerals Lash Domination Mascara in Black. And I'll be right back because I did not purchase any new mascara, any new eyeliner, nothing. BRB. All right, so I applied the black eyeliner not all across. So if you notice, I didn't take it all the way into the corner. I kind of did it just up to there. Same thing on the other eye. And I applied some mascara. Let me kind of just show you the finished eyeshadow look. Now, because I didn't purchase any cool toned lip colors, this was kind of the only cool toned kind of color I purchased. I'm just gonna apply the gloss. Yes. Guys, if you haven't tried these Chanel lip glosses, I highly recommend. This dome is my favorite. They don't smell like anything and they don't taste like anything. So for those of you who don't like fragrance in your makeup, you're gonna love this. All right, so I'm gonna check in with you guys. I'm going to wear this foundation for at least about 6 to 8 hours. I will check in with you guys a little bit later outside, because I kind of like to do the check-ins outside so you guys can really see how the foundation and the rest of the makeup shows up, you know, outside. But you know, just with the humidity, because I do live in Florida, do I have a shadow there? No, it's just my green vein protruding today. That's what I'm talking about. You guys remember that green vein? And I was like, oh, sometimes it's very prominent. Today is one of those days. Anyways, I'll check in a little bit later just so that you guys can see how this foundation has held up and if I like it. See you guys soon. Hey guys, so I decided to do my check-in at 7 hours because it's about to storm really bad and I won't be able to do it for the rest of the day. It's getting pretty ugly if you guys can hear the thunder. But as you can see, the 7-hour mark is more than enough. This foundation is a CC cream. It's not supposed to last, you know, as long as a regular foundation. As you can see, my skin has soaked up most of it. My skin feels moisturized but not greasy, so it has a nice finish. I feel like this is a foundation that I would use if I'm running errands or on my no makeup days. I do love the fact that it has SPF, but it doesn't feel like you're wearing SPF, if you know what I mean. I really hate the feeling of having SPF on my skin. So this is definitely something that is a pro for this foundation. I have to use it a little bit more. I did only apply one coat. So it would be interesting to see how this foundation will hold up with 2 coats. I will let you guys know. Alright, that completes this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye.